Many of our digital mavericks have talked about how fear of failure is holding a lot of women back when it comes to business. And I just wondered if you could share with us some of your best failures.
I think probably fear of failure holds most people back, not just women. And I think that's general across the board. And it's a difficult question because you can think of many examples and not all of them are appropriate to share on camera. But I have to say, I think there's some principles for me in that doesn't matter how complex the technology is or the strategy is or the project is, really the failures tend to come from the human dynamic. So every time there's a best failure, the learnings tend to be going back to basics. They're about communication and clarity, about kind of relationships and candour. So I think kind of without going through a specific best failure, I think they're the things that you should kind of take out of the mistakes and I guess a thing of kind of really learning from them, not just saying, oh, that was a bit of a nightmare, and kind of moving on. You need to sort of, I think, really write that down somewhere that you learnt that and make sure you go back to basics every time.
What advice would you give to the next generation of digital mavericks starting out on their careers today?
I think I'd revisit my point about the convergence of marketing and technology. We're talking about mavericks in the digital marketing world. I think probably the embracing the sort of, I guess the shift change that technology allows is really important. And I think actually, if you're going to be a maverick, truly, then you're going to have to do something differently. And I think the biggest thing actually, and is something we've been talking about a lot in the Marketing Technology Association, is how technology can drive genuine disruption and actually embracing disruption, which is it's an overused term and an often incorrectly used term. Disruption is about kind of spotting the gap in a customer's experience and finding a way of completely changing that, not necessarily a snazzy idea that wins an award and lives today and is gone tomorrow. And so I would say embrace disruption in its true sense and what that means and why you'll need to be a maverick and quite brave in your organisation, whether it be in an agency on behalf of a client or working on behalf of a brand.